Hi, I haven't updated in a long time, but I did want to update with one brief little thing about having a VBAC that I have seen in many women, and that's having doubts. When I planned my VBAC, I went above and beyond what most people do. I went to a doctor that was 5 hours away and stayed in a hotel for 3 weeks with 2 of my friends and my 2 older kids, and I had had 2 prior C-sections, and none of the doctors near my hometown were willing to attend a VBAC and actually give me a legitimate shot at it. So I went above and beyond. I had to move mountains to make it happen, but it was worth it, and I'd do it again even if it was 10 times as hard and 10 times as expensive. But even though I went the extra mile like that, I still had a lot of doubts. I had a lot of negativity from friends and family who accused me of murdering my baby before she even had a shot at life just because I didn't want to schedule a repeat cesarean. I had a lot of people trying to tell me a bunch of facts that weren't really true, and all these horror stories about, oh, I know so-and-so, and she tried to have a VBAC, and her uterus ruptured, and the baby died. And people tried to scare me, and even up to labor, I had a lot of doubts, and then even during labor, I had doubts. I remember while I was pushing, okay, I was already 10 centimeters, baby was descending. While I was pushing, I kept thinking, any second now, any second, they're going to tell me I need a C-section. Any second, any second. And then they didn't, and then she was out. And even afterwards, if you saw my birth video, I kept asking them, am I done? That's it? I'm done? Am I done? But I know, like, I was just in such disbelief that I had actually done it, and I had actually had a VBAC, and I didn't have to have another C-section, which I didn't have to have the first 2 in the first place, but that's another story. And it was just such an amazing feeling to know I actually did it. And now when I talk to women who are planning a VBAC for the first time or interested in a VBAC, they're always like, oh, you did so amazing. I wish I could do what you did, and you're just so confident. And I can't help but kind of chuckle to myself a little because I was not confident. I remember when I was planning it, my husband was really worried about the financial aspects of it because it was really expensive. We spent several $1,000s making it happen, and that's not even including my monthly trips to see the doctor. But I was so worried that I would go up there, I would spend all this time, all this money, all this energy and effort, and I would have another C-section. I kept thinking, I'm going to feel so stupid when I end up with another C-section and this was all for nothing. And part of me, at several points, felt like maybe I should just scrap this plan and call the doctor down here and just schedule a C-section. Who am I kidding? I'm not going to be able to have a VBAC. I've had 2 C-sections. It's not going to work. And there were many times that I almost did. And I kept thinking, I can't do this. Who am I fooling? And even when I was in labor, there was a point where I almost wanted to tell Elrod, okay, well, let's just do a C-section. And I know this is just a joke and you're just letting me try to satisfy me, but I know it's not going to work. And so I want to let women who are planning a VBAC or interested in a VBAC or hoping for a VBAC to know that doubts are normal. It's completely normal. And just 2 years ago, I was sitting in a spot looking at other women who had had VBACs going, wow, that's amazing. I really wish I could do that, but I know it's not going to happen, or it's really unlikely to happen. And now I've kind of switched places. And it's so funny because the whole time when I was preparing for my VBAC, I kept reading all these amazing VBAC stories, seeing these videos, talking to women who had VBACs and thinking, that is so amazing, but that's not going to be me. I just wish I could have a story like that, and I'm never going to. But I did. So my point is, doubts are normal, and if you're scared and worried, it's normal. I mean, it's completely normal. Do your research, do your digging, find a supportive caregiver. I cannot stress that enough. You can have a VBAC without a supportive caregiver, but it's a lot harder, especially in labor. But, you know, do your research, talk to people, look online, read up on the facts, know your information, and give it your best shot. And don't be alarmed if you have doubts. It's completely normal.